Hello everyone and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. Today we are talking about the lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces occurring on the 17th or perhaps the 18th of September 2024, depending on where you live. We're going to look at the energy around this eclipse, and we're also going to pull some cards for your signs. So make sure you do watch your sun, moon, and rising signs for the big picture. And if you find that you enjoy this content, and if you enjoy my channel, please hit the like button on this video. It does help it get seen, so I thank you in advance. And of course, if you subscribe, then you will see my content going forward without having to look for it too hard. So this particular lunar eclipse, it's a super moon, it's a full moon, and this is in the sign of Pisces at 25 degrees. So this eclipses in general do bring about an astrological wild card, bringing in fated events. And full moon eclipse can bring about endings. We're closing out a chapter, we're opening up a new one. And this is the first eclipse in the Pisces-Virgo axis. So we're going to see this play out over the next couple of years. There will be a couple other different eclipses in other signs in between, but this one is significant. Pisces is endings, right? Pisces is the 12th house energy. Pisces also can be a little bit chaotic, ruled by Neptune. Pisces, highly spiritual, very intuitive energy, very creative, very not so much passionate necessarily, but creative, right? Very, it's like we really do want to tap into our emotions when Pisces is at play. Virgo, on the other hand, is very ordered, very practical, very down to earth, wants to create order, Virgo, out of chaos, Pisces. So this can be a time when we really do need to look at the balance in our lives, the balance between our physical world, Virgo, the things we do day to day, Virgo, and our dream state, our spiritual selves, our emotional body, our relationships, right, with ourselves, with other people, with the world around us, right? And that's Pisces energy coming in there. So how do we find the balance? That's what we're going to be tasked with over the next couple of years. But this can bring about full moons in general are about a completion of a cycle, and eclipses, we're eclipsing something out of our lives in order to eclipse something in, right? We're cleaning the path and we're making the way forward. So eclipses are very important as far as astrology goes, because they do bring change. And it quite often is really kind of getting things out in the open and dealing with things that have been kind of stagnant for quite some time, right? And, there's always something in our lives where we know we're stuck, or we know we're in a situation that's really not allowing us growth or the happiness that we want. And so something's got to shift. So some people will be having major spiritual shifts at this time. Some of you will be having major epiphanies at this time. It's like, whoa, I didn't see that before. Holy moly. Eclipses can also bring things out of the darkness into the light. We do also have, at this time of this eclipse, we have Uranus retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So this can bring about shakeups in our financial situation, in how we find our resources. This is also kind of breaking us free from old patterns and behaviors, right? So we can get a lot of surprises and some unpredictability with Uranus and Taurus, but it is a perfect time for us to cleanse and purge all toxicity for the rest of 2024. Pluto is also retrograde, has been for quite some time now, but it's just dipped back into the sign of Capricorn for the very last time in our lives. So with this energy, this is about reflecting on where we've been, what we've experienced, especially over the last, since about 2008 or so, and we're preparing for the new age, right? Some of you could get second chances, or maybe it's a major closing out of something here. So, with all of this stuff going on, it's really setting us up for freedom, to find a better way for tomorrow. So, some of you could have some big surprises coming in. Some of you are just finding that a door is opening in here as well. We do also have a conjunction with Saturn at the time of this eclipse. And of course, Saturn is very karmic in its energy. So there is a karmic element to this lunar eclipse. So Saturn is, of course, very much known as, the planet that teaches us something, right? And Saturn is, of course, the ruler of Capricorn. So this is where Pluto is right now, right? So big reflective energy. So you might find freedom from restriction at this time. Something could be really opening up for you. Saturn ultimately does not deny us anything, but Saturn does delay things to make sure that we're ready for the responsibility of something, right? And so it's usually very much to our benefit, even though it doesn't feel that way to us. So with this conjunction to Saturn, this could potentially be something very positive that is happening for you guys. So let's hope so. We can actually look back. Full moons, of course, we do reflect, and eclipses is where we do kind of look back a little bit. And there are retrogrades going on. Two of the slowest moving, very outer planets, Uranus and Pluto, are both retrograde, right? So it's a big time of reflection and lots of changes going on. But if we look back to the last two lunar eclipses in Pisces that occurred around this degree that we're having it at this year. There's been other eclipses in between, but we're talking about these two specifically. They both happened at 24 degrees Pisces. This one is at 25, so very similar. One was September 16th, 2016. So look back to the last few months of 2016, what was going on. The one before that was 1997, also September 16th, and also at 24 degrees. So again, look back to that. When I look back, I know exactly what was going on, right? One of them was in 1997 was a big career change for me. It was great. 2016, everything blew up, right? September, October 2016, career, relationships, you name it. And man, oh man, was that some karmic cycle energy that was there. So very disruptive, but it was also by my own hand for part of it. So, but it freed me up for the future. Challenging to deal with, yes. Painful, yes. But ultimately very rewarding. So if you look back to those two dates, then this could give you a clue as to what was going on. So having said all of that, for some things, we're in the hands of fate. And for some things, you may be pulling the rug out of something or welcoming something brand new into your life. So if you are watching this full video, check out all of your timestamps down below. And if you are watching just the individual videos, because I did break them up for this time, then we'll get right into your cards right now. But have a great eclipse, and I'll see you guys next time. And for you here, Leo, we've got something hidden that may come to light for you guys. This is a very transformative, very evolutionary, and possibly for some of you, a very abrupt energy that is occurring in your 8th astrological house, ruled by Pluto. Pluto currently retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, just went retrograde in Capricorn September 1st. We have retrograde energy until October 11th, all right? And then Pluto goes direct in Capricorn again before it finally settles into Aquarius for the next 20 years or so. But the 8th house, Plutonian energy, something can be hidden that comes to light. We can have the birth of something new. We can have final endings, closing a final chapter to something as well. Pluto can very much represent our personal power. Where have you been giving your power away? Where do you need to take your power back? Who has power and control over you? Time to shake it up. This can be an end to fears and stagnation in your life as well. Pluto ultimately brings a little bit of mystery out of the woodwork, can represent our hidden desires. It does have to do with our sexuality, but it also has to do with the occult, right? The things that are hidden. The 8th house energy that we've got here does also have to do with inheritance, loans, shared assets, the things that we share with other people, whether it's money or property. And so partnerships may be very highlighted for you at this full moon as well, at this eclipse. You could be welcoming in something new. There could be some changing dynamics within a relationship. All of a sudden you could get an inheritance and all of a sudden your loans are paid off, right? Those kind of things can happen with this energy. Whatever it happens to be, growth, change, transformation, endings, new beginnings. Very deep, very impactful energy for you guys. But I do feel that you're probably going to face some fear around something, and maybe it's a fear about talking about money with other people. Maybe it's a fear of sharing money and resources and finances. Maybe it's a fear of someone stealing them, right? Whatever it happens to be, you feel like you're working through it. And we have a healing energy coming in here for you guys. Building a good, strong, solid, long-lasting foundation. Fixing something for the long term, whether it's something within you, something externally from you, something with people, conquering a fear, right? Whatever it happens to be, a beautiful healing energy. You could have a second chance at something with this as well. And we have peace. Healing and peace. Look at that. Love that. All right. Now, does that necessarily mean that this eclipse will be calm and peaceful for you? Maybe for some of you, because it's already chaotic and now we're restoring the status quo. But for others of you, this is showing you that on your path to peace and healing, we need to deal with chaos first. We need to shake things up and disrupt our lives in some way first to clear the path for peace and calm and healing. It's not always an easy road, but it is a very rewarding road. But the peace card can represent your ability to and your opportunity to find peace in your life. So also reminding you to take a peaceful approach at things in your life as well. Number one, take a peaceful, kind, compassionate approach with yourself, but also with other people, right? Because you could be dealing with other people at this time as well. And we can, if we have something important to talk about, or we have some issues that we're dealing with, we can, be very confrontational about things, but it doesn't usually get us anywhere, does it? Because when we come out, wanting a confrontation or we just combative energy, right, we immediately put the other person on guard. Whereas if we start a discussion in a peaceful way, right, a kind way, people are more apt to be receptive to what we have to say. And then that's where we can usually find resolutions. I do also pick up the energy that, especially in regards to inheritance, because let's face it, the 8th house does deal with births and deaths, and inheritances come on board with that as well. And even though we all know that death is a part of life, we all know that it's inevitable, but it can be very abrupt. And no matter what happens, when someone does pass on, there's grief, right? There's sadness, there's tears. But ultimately, the person who has passed on is at peace. So if there are some things that you want to say to somebody, or some things that you wish that you had said, say them now. Even if the person has passed on, still say them now. Light a candle. Say what you wanted to say. And find the peace and stillness in your heart. If someone around you, maybe, quite often it's parents or grandparents or family members in some way, right? And if there's something that you want to resolve, something you want to say, something you want to heal, right, before maybe it is too late, then maybe now is the time to do that as well. Make peace with the situation, because ultimately that will set you free. And this eclipse is about setting you free emotionally. finding the healing in your heart, right? And it's not an easy thing to do, but is ultimately reclaiming your personal power. So a deep message there for somebody. We have the Nine of Wands coming in. We have the Star, beautiful, beautiful healing, loving energy. And we have the Two of Swords. So there may be something here, you're trying to make a decision, an all-important decision about something, especially with the Two of Swords. This can be an energy where you need to go internal. You need to trust your intuition. You need to trust your heart, right? Go within with the Two of Swords. If you're trying to make a decision or gain clarity on something, this is where you'll do it. The Nine of Wands is something that you've been working towards, or something that you've been dealing with in your life that's been challenging, but you're at the finish line. There's something about to complete for you here, whether it's just a chapter in your life, whether it's some changes that you want to make and you've been working super, super, super hard to get to the point where you can make the changes, you have the opportunity to do so, then the time is about to shift here for you in a very positive way. But the Nine of Swords does also, the Nine of Wands, excuse me, this one, also does represent a little bit of skepticism. It does also represent kind of like it's a wounded energy, wounded warrior, quite often referred to there. So whatever has wounded you, whatever wounds that you do have, and these come up at this time, usually out of the blue, right? Often in meditation, right? Whatever wounds that you've got, this is an opportunity to open that door, reclaim your power, heal the wounds, and move forward in a more peaceful light, in a more peaceful way. You might need to make some decisions. You might need to figure out how to approach a subject there as well, especially if it's internal, right? Quite often these things are internal. But know this, that the star is shining brightly. The Star card is here to restore a sense of serendipity, restore hope and inspiration in all aspects of your life. Interestingly enough, with the ruler of the 8th house being Pluto, going back into Capricorn, it's a now or never, do or die kind of energy, right? As of the beginning of November, Pluto goes back into Aquarius, Star card, Aquarian energy, and really helps propel us forward with wonderful changes for our future. We're clearing out the last remnants of the past, and we are freeing ourselves up for that better tomorrow, no matter what that looks like to you. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, relationship-wise, whatever it happens to be. And it's a beautiful energy. The Star card does give us that inspiration, but it also does restore balance in our lives. Miracles and blessings abound whenever we do get that Star card. So some of you could have something coming to fruition for you here as well. And this brings you a sense of relief. It's a beautiful energy, very sparkly energy. It is the big yes card, right? Sometimes it's yes right now, and sometimes it's a yes, but not immediately. With some things we got to do first. But it can represent your wishes and your goals and the possibilities that lay ahead for you. But ultimately, it is a very peaceful energy, freeing you from things that are causing grief and pain and sadness. This is the calm after the storm. So embrace all of the wondrousness that is the star energy. Hope, faith, inspiration, peace, balance, healing, success, and abundance also come to light with the star card as well. So all of the great stuff coming in here. You're about to be rewarded for everything that you've been working towards. And know that even if you are on a journey of transformation, that there's rewards at the other side. With that, guys, I'm going to leave that there. I thank you for watching. I hope there was something here for you. If so, please like, share, subscribe. Watch your sun, moon, and your rising signs for the big picture. I think there's some big stuff going on for you guys. But I thank you for watching. I hope you have a good eclipse, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.